This week's episode is brought to you by Apartment Hunting. Want to find a new place to live? Want to pay over $2,000 a month because this is Los Angeles? Well, with Apartment Hunting, you can find a new place to live while also dying on the inside. Apartment Hunting. There's a washer and dryer in the basement, but you have to fight off Jigsaw to get there. Welcome to Nexus tonight. I'm Adam.
I'm still Matt.
I'm John. I'm shit at this game.
Yeah. Hi, John. John is a friend of ours that we met in Living Proof's Discord, and John has a very strong opinion about Accel clans, and that's why he's here today. Also, Root Beer is going through some stuff, so that's why he's not here. But
also John tops events and ruins decks for everybody else.
That's true.
Hey, I didn't ruin Ange, okay? I did not.
Not yet. All right.
do you want to say some of your accolades / name drop yourself? Or?
I am that guy, quote unquote, who topped with Glendios at Grandfest. I'm so sorry for you people who played on CFA for the weeks after that. And then I topped teams with my boys Accel and Nikki at Anaheim when EXO and Swiss, and then got fucked in top 8 like the good players we are.
Yep.
Hey man, I got fucked out of top 8.
Yeah, he went X1 and then, breakers.
You can't get bubbled if you go XL.
It's true.
That's true.
He brings up a valid point. And you were playing something like Pale Moon or some tier 2 garbage, right?
Hey, at least the rest of my team was playing tier 1 shit. Like, I warned them ahead of time that, like, look, I am playing complete ass. If you want to find a different person, please go ahead. And they're like, no, you're all we got. I'm like,
can you remind me how many of your, what percentage of your games you won where you played Dust?
All of them.
All right. And how many games did you win where you did not Dust?
None of them.
Interesting.
And it mostly happened because they killed me before I could Dust. So
yeah.
As it turns out, Dust is a very good card. So
weird.
But we're not here to talk about Dust. Today we're here to talk about Accel clans, which if you've been following Nexus at Night for the past few episodes, you should know what they are. But not everybody does, so why don't we just give them a quick rundown?
Accel clans are supposed to. So it's based on the Accel gift, which is when you ride your grade 3. Most grade 3 Vanguards in that grade 3s in that clan, you get an Accel gift that gives you an additional rearguard circle, which cannot be boosted. And any rearguards placed in that circle get plus 10,000 power. So it's supposed to give you like additional front attacks or something.
Yeah. So Accel clans are in general supposed to be more aggressive. This is why we have Accel clans such as Aquaforce, Nova Grappler, Tachikaze, Pale Moon, etc. And yet, the first standard set is out in Japanese. It's been out for a while. We have like some tournament results, and shit's not looking too good. John, that's where you come in.
Oh, my bad. Well, basically, it's just doing nothing. In the most recent team, VGCS had like I think 100-something teams. There were 0 in top 8 because that deck's bad. Don't at me. It's just super weak to people with brains, and people just don't want to believe me when I say that.
Can you kind of explain your reasoning here? Or
see, like, there's this card called Perfect Riser, and it says Counterblast 2 on it. Okay, they can't kill you with the Counterblast 2 thing if you don't give them 2 Counterblast. Big brain thought. I know.
Whoa, that's like 500 IQ.
Okay, so joking aside, this has been like. I was fucking around the subreddit the other day, and there was an actual thread, or was it the Facebook group? So one of those things, and someone was like, saying like, "Oh, as it turns out, attacking rear guards can be really good," and then everyone in the comments went off on them. They were like, "No, it's not. That's really bad. You have to attack Vanguard event." You know what I'm talking about, right?
It was the dude who posted the dumbass Kai meme of like, "You suck at card games."
Yes.
When he says when they attack a rear guard instead of Vanguard.
Yeah. And
then everyone just chewed his ass out.
Yeah.
It was like the most upvotes that I've seen in the thread, but then again, I'm at -6 on everything I comment on that sub.
you and Woe Dragon just get fucking like,
dude,
destroyed. Anyway. Attacking rear guards with your Vanguard is something that tends to get frowned upon, but as it turns out, it's quite good. If anybody knows me in real life, you know that one of my favorite things to do is to kill rear guards with my Vanguard.
Well, I've played a lot of Dimension Police, so I'm no stranger to attacking rear guards with Vanguard, so I don't...
Hashtag Commander Laurel.
It's like
just do it when it's good.
Right? I mean, it was good because they wouldn't be able to PG it because they'd be playing the GPG or the unflippy PGs. And you're like, yeah, it seems good.
Another thing with Nova Grappler is that their thing is that they don't really have much of an advantage engine. So you killing their rear guards is like a twofold thing where A, you deprive them of the counterblast needed for them to do Perfect Riser's thing, and B, you deprive them of the cards that they want to restand anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's like 12 grade 2s, and if you cut grade 1s, it goes up to 16. And that deck list was Madman status that I saw that played 8 grade 1s. I like it. That's the only Nova Grappler list I liked. Because grade 1s are shit.
It's true. I mean, you can't boost your Accel columns anyway, and you're probably not boosting your other columns, so whatever. Yeah, the other problem I have, or like that kind of sees me, I see in Accel clans, is because like the power stage that they lose at grade 2 and 3. Most clans right now are force, and if they get a trigger on damage, it is a huge game.
Yeah, like half of
turns over.
Yeah, half of the clans that you can play right now are force clans, which means that everybody's like higher base power.
I mean, Kagero has some hilarious cards, and by hilarious, I mean, what is this cards? And then, Royal Paladin's Royal Paladin, so people are going to play it no matter what.
SS Dunk.
And then, I mean, OTT at least can do stuff over like a longer period of time, where Accel really can't.
Yeah, OTT actually draws cards and like fixes their bad drive checks. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, right?
It's funny that for a long time people were like, Accel's really fucking good, and Protect looks really bad.
Well, I mean, like, if you just look in a vacuum, right? Yeah. Accel looks fucking absurd.
Yeah.
Like, actually broken as shit. Like, it shouldn't be in a card game type of dumb.
Yeah.
But then, like, you put a clan that just draws no cards outside of draws if you play them, or the grade 2 that randomly draws you a card. I don't remember. It's the double R for risers.
I can't remember.
Like, that's your advantage engine. That's it in drive checking. Like, you're gonna run out of cards eventually, especially if you're like the same person who just jams face into Kagero while they kill everything in a turn, and you're just sitting there like, what the hell did I just do?
Yeah. Or if
you can't even trade counterblast with Kagero because so many of the retires are like super cheap.
Yeah. It's either that or they like some of them are soul blast even. So what do they give a shit?
Right. Or just ride.
Yeah.
And then Airmo refunds the counterblast, so it's just like, what is life?
So it's like, I'm going to lose every single grade 2 rear guard I have, and I'm just going to take it. Yeah, seems good.
So if you're like a quote-unquote smart player, please take that with all of the salt. Can you like do well with Nova Grappler, or are they just kind of up shit creek for now?
Everything I know from people who've been playing it a bunch that I kind of trust say that the deck sucks unless you high roll, which is an awkward position in this card game because like your deck can suck and not high roll and still kind of do things if you're like OTT, Kagero, and Royals. But like if you're just playing Novas and you're low rolling, you're just kind of sitting there waiting to die.
I feel like if your deck has to high roll to do anything, you're playing a bad deck and you should probably change.
Yeah, probably. But my clan.
Well, yeah, because you have a 1 in 2 chance of high rolling, which means that's if a 50%. That's an F. That is an F.
It's really less than that, but yeah. In Magic, like there are a lot of decks that have like, oh, but if I get this like insane draw, I like win the game automatically. It's like, yeah, but how often do you get this draw anyway? Or that stupid Tachi infinite attack deck that people kept talking about for some reason.
The one that like played that Soul Blast thing.
Yeah, Russia, Erasmo, and Vacuum Mammoth.
Vacuum Mammoth, yeah. It's like,
why do that? I was like, just Wiseman, like,
right?
or just be a fucking Dogma and all that other stuff. Like that's just literally.
Yeah, but you can also just play a good deck.
Yeah,
but
yeah. But I want to play this clan.
Okay. Now, do you think that because Nova Grappler had all this stuff that was good at like gaining advantage in premium, that it'll have a better time in premium than standard?
For sure. Like Accel Circles plus Dragger is one of the scariest things I've ever witnessed.
Dragger?
Yeah, Dragger the GB8, because Victor decks just turbo GB8 by second stride consistently, and it's some of the dumbest shit ever.
Yeah. Well, because you also did that, and also like the kind of thing. Oh, I GB3 draw retire. Fuck you. Like they just have that for no reason.
Maybe I'm a little. Maybe I'm a little confused. But what Accel grade 3 are they playing alongside Victor?
They're playing the Battledore Fighter.
Oh, I see. That guy's good.
That's the one that's like if it battles.
You have to guard with everything with 2 cards at least.
Yeah, if you pay for each battle.
Yeah,
It's not terrible because well, wait, no, I'm stupid. Never mind. It's not terrible in general because the Accel circle thing and its Vanguard skill isn't terrible. So.
Yeah.
And then also, like, your strides can fix the whole Victor name problem. So, because like I noticed that that's like a big thing. A lot of cards in G were like, if you have a Vanguard with this name, blah 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 blah. But so many strides are like, all right, I got Gaia Dynast, Gaia Devastate. What do I need more? You're fine. See also Victor and Alt Mile, etc. That would actually be kind of interesting. Like if you did Brave with Royals and you just keep calling your things to the same circle over and over.
I mean, that's how the Brave deck works, yeah.
Yeah, but now you got a force circle under it, so.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. Spike.
I mean, they're dropping 2 cards anyway, so it doesn't really do much. Plus, then you're not playing Brave cards, and then you're just like, wow, my deck sucks.
Yeah. So another thing I wanted to mention is we, for the most part, we're gonna stop doing the like weekly reveals thing. Now that we're like safely on the other side of the reboot, but I did want to touch on one thing that got revealed this morning. So, Tachikaze finally got some reveals for their upcoming set, and it appears that Bushiroad has given them an advantage engine, which goes against everything we were just talking about for the last 10 minutes. So they now have a mechanic called Busou gauge?
Busou gauge.
Basically, it's armor gauge.
Arm gauge.
Yeah, equip gauge or also armor gauge or something of the sort.
Okay, so basically it's the way it works is you put the top card of your deck into your... it basically becomes a soul for your rear guard. And the 3 cards that were revealed with it were Sonic Noah, which is an 8K grade 1. So when he boosts...
That is what Sonic Noah is.
Yeah. But I mean, like, now he's not in effect. So when he boosts a rear guard, you put the top card into your Busou gauge of the boosted unit. And then also on Vanna Rear, if he hits, you can retire a rear guard to draw. For some reason. There's also Blytops, which is grade 2 9K. When he's retired from rear, you counterblast 1 to return up to 2 Busou gauge cards from him to your hand. And then, which kind of harkens back to the old Blytops, which was counterblast search for... what's his face? Ironclad, the 6K grade 0 with 10K shield. Remember that? Yeah. And then also Tyrant Death Rex, who is a triple R with the Accel gift and 12K power, grade 3. So on Vanna Rear, on attack, you can Soul Blast, retire another rear guard to retire one of your opponent's front row rear guards. And then for each Busou cards on top of the thing you killed, he gets 10K for the battle. So
you can use them to add them to your hand or give additional power to other effects?
Yeah. So it appears that they're taking a different direction with Tachikaze, but it also means that now they have something of an advantage engine thanks to Blytops.
So are we buddy fight now? Is that what's going on?
Basically, it looks like.
Nice.
What was Buddy Fight's thing where like you can give soul to rear? I never played Buddy Fight.
Oh yeah, so
Soul Guard.
Yeah.
Basically, if something would die, you take a card from the soul and just put it in your drop zone, and it stays. That's it.
Mm-hmm. So what's interesting about this mechanic is this is one way that makes Tachikaze like very much different than other clans. First of all,
yes, it does.
Then again, we don't know like if the other clans will have this mechanic.
Yeah.
But this is something that's like is kind of a decent. I think it's neat for this game in the sense that decking out with Tachikaze was not something you worried about anyway most of the time.
Yeah.
So like I wouldn't take this ability in something like Dark Irregulars. I think that'd be really awful.
Yeah.
Like minus the clan just also not caring about its rear guard, but deck out is like a serious concern.
Yeah.
I think it's fine and it's kind of a unique way to give advantage engine. I mean, depending on how many ways you have to pull from those to hand. Also, it's worth noting that the equip gauge is a hidden zone for your opponent, but you can look at it, I believe.
Oh, that's good. And then also, one thing to mention, if a card with Busou cards dies, those just go to the drop zone. So,
I mean, where else would they go, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's not like they go back to the bottom of the deck or something like that. You know.
Yeah. So you can look at the equip gauge, but your opponent cannot.
Yeah.
So you can know if triggers are under there or whatnot.
Yeah. And then also, that would also give incentive to the opponent to kill those things so that they can find out what it is, maybe.
I mean, I don't think that information is useful for your opponent. I think if you're playing in a way where you're caring about one card of hidden information that your opponent can't do that much with, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to very rarely like change your decisions.
Yeah.
And like trying to guess what it is probably just not helpful.
It seems like with the retire effects, it doesn't care how they're retired, as opposed to like G era Tachikaze was all about the like on your turn if it's retired you do this, and then also whereas old Tachikaze was if it dies you can still do it. So suck it, Kagero. Like now they're kind of bringing that back, but it also means that it looks like Tachikaze is not doing its multi attack thing that it was before, which kind of bums me out, honestly.
What do you think about the equip gauge or whatever, John?
It's probably the most interesting mechanic this game has had in a long damn time.
Ooh, shit. Hot take!
I mean, like, I don't want to say much about it because we don't have all the cards and I don't want to get OTT'd.
What do you mean you don't want to get...
stupid about OTT? And then all of a sudden they're the best deck out of the format and you're just like, what the fuck?
Hey, no.
But
they did have the most cute girls, so...
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's the only reason why I'm building them, so...
Explain...
I mean, like, realistically, this stuff is actually, like, nuts and would probably make it the only viable Accel clan at this point.
So far. But we still have, what, like, three Accel...
Two triple R's of VR.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like,
So,
in terms
the
of...
VR Gigarex?
Yeah,
I think so.
If it's terrible again, I'm gonna explode.
Like they had to have figured out Tachi's by now, right? Like they had when they first started this game. So I'm talking like this is pre-Break Right era. They had no clue to do with Tachi's. It was very obvious, or they had like some idea of what they wanted, but they would just have
went dinosaurs, RAR, XD, and then
right. Oh, let's put guns on them because why not?
Hey, that was badass, all right?
Yeah. Let's put guns on them. Yeah, but what about the effects? We'll figure that out later. Now, what kind of gun do we want on this particular one? But what about the effects?
Right? I don't know. But hopefully it's cool. We'll see.
I mean, it just annoys me because it seems like they figured it out, and it was very cool, and then now they're kind of going back on that and starting from the bottom again. And
man, I hope the VR says, like, add every equip gauge card from your regards to your add everyone from your regards to your hand, and then gets plus like power, and then if you added like 3 or more, gain a crit or some shit, that'd be lit.
Dude,
it's probably gonna be something crit and power related. Realistically,
I mean, it has to. It retires some stuff, get some crit and power, draw some cards. Why not?
That would make me paint the garage for sure.
Sure, I know you really like that, but anyway,
I'm just gonna keep it secret to what it is for the listeners. If you figure out what painting the garage is, tweet at Nexus.
No, or you can. Never mind. All right,
or just don't.
So, yeah, or just don't. Yeah. So it seems Protect seems pretty good, right? Yeah. Is it the Protect gift that you think it makes OTT fairly strong in today's in the metagame now, or is it just like?
I think their rears
still
are
advantage.
Like they have one of the best rear guards against Kagero that straight up says it can't die.
Mm-hmm.
That just forces them to swing into your rear guard, which takes pressure off the Vanguard, which makes your Protect give slightly better. And like all your grade 3s aren't crap, which is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't have an Alfred. Like Imperial Daughter's absurd. If you get the Imperial Daughter chain going, I don't know if there's much your opponent can do. Like realistically,
like eventually they're gonna run out of perfect guards unless they're OCT, right?
Yeah, like you're drawing like 2+ cards a turn, flat, and then you drive check 2 more in like one turn. So you're like going +5 damn near every turn, plus other rear guard effects that filter. It's just stupid. And then like, despite me hating this card, Deer is stupid.
It's not in like at first glance I thought this card was like incredibly slow.
It was it's on paper one of the slowest cards I've ever seen, but apparently turns out if the rest of the field is slow, you're fine.
Yep.
now is Nova Grappler a clan that wants to kill early? How does that matchup go?
Normally it's just OTT being giant bitches and denying like counterblast until they can set up their field in hand, and then just
makes sense.
Like eventually you have enough advantage where you don't give a shit.
And then maybe just one-shot them with Deer because they can't guard that stuff.
Yeah.
That's how I've interpreted it as, because like there's not a lot of Nova Grappler gameplay that's worth watching. Like for example, there's this specific video of Nova Grappler versus Kagero that they use going, hey, this is how Nova Grappler's viable, where the Kagero player misrode into Waterfall and then purposely gives the Nova Grappler player 2 counterblast to immediately slam them with Perfect Riser. And I was just like, this isn't a good example. Stop.
Right.
say
Like
the
you could
exact-
throw a crit on rear to like so that doesn't happen.
No, I think he just straight up like whiff drive checks. I could check really quick, but I straight up think he just gave the Nova Grappler player 2 counterblast and was just like, yeah, Kagero sucks. We're stacking the format. Yep.
Oh yeah. I've heard from many sources that it was the worst deck in the format.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrible, guys. Nova Grappler tier 0. I've been lying for the past 28 minutes.
Why?
And apparently all of Japan is also lying.
I mean,
Weird.
I wonder why people are like, "Oh, Tadro sucks." Like, why is that the first instinct of everybody? Because I feel like if you're going to jump on anything, Royals would be.
Well, it's more like people just don't like right now. I don't understand why they don't, but they don't see the value in absolutely just killing everything. Because killing rear cards in G era, for example, wasn't that absurd.
Well, yeah,
it was just good.
Well, yeah, because everyone had so much absurd advantage that replacement wasn't that hard, and I think that's going to be a lesson that people are going to have to learn again. Is that you have to like conserve your resources and understand that every card matters. Like in olden days of Vanguard, when you lost the game, you didn't lose that turn. You lost 3 turns before. When you forgot to do something or you attacked X thing instead of Y thing.
All right, quick update. After clicking through this video, the dude gave the Perfect Riser player the kind of blast to use Perfect Riser twice, and that's why he lost.
GG.
Dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Setting up, that is just... Ew, Bellicosity. Oh, God, ew!
What, for premium? Or, oh, right, new Bellicosity. Da-da-da. Never mind.
Yeah, he just straight up gave them 2 counterblast again to just die to perfect... Yep, alright. That's quality video.
So the guy plays like garbage and then loses to Novas and then says, "Well, Novas must be good because I played perfectly." Despite not actually playing perfectly. Well played.
I mean, this seems to be like the ongoing trend, which is like this thing, X thing is good if you do this, or like I'm really good at this, so I'm.
My favorite part are like the people who go like when you call like X deck bad, is they go, but at locals I do well, I win my locals, and I'm just like, okay, dude, congrats, your locals is crap.
I mean, like
so the same people who still bitch about chaos in 2018. Okay, like, please stop.
Okay, we talked about like a guy who's like talked about how chaos is broken. This was like what 2 days ago or something.
No, that was last night.
Oh, last night. Okay, so a day ago. So I unbeknownst to them recorded this reading of the thing, and I'll keep it around. If you guys want to hear it, tweet us at Nexus and Night. I'll do like an outtake or something. Put it somewhere.
But generally, like, people don't understand how much, like, optimal play changes how clan matchups work. Like, of course, in a casual setting, Novas seem absolutely absurd. Like, to the point to where it's like the red deck wins of Vanguard. Like, it's just a straight-up noob killer.
The red deck wins? What does that mean?
Oh, it's just a burn deck that goes face in, like, Magic or, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Chain burn.
Unlike Magic, I guess it's probably closer to Chainbird, and we'll talk about that in a second. Red decks are just going to do what they do at Magic, and you can't really stop them from casting their spells.
Yeah.
In Vanguard, you can stop them from doing stuff. And in Yu-Gi-Oh, you can, once you know they're on Chainbird, take precautions. Like, you probably lose game 1 to Chainbird, and that happens. Most of this, I guess in the old days you would. Now you probably just still, no one gives a shit.
Hand traps, yeah.
Well, it's not even that. It's just that so many more things create chains, or like you're just dead before you can do anything.
Yeah.
Like chain burn doesn't like loses if it goes second, as an example.
Right.
Same thing with Novas. Who knew?
Weird. But yeah, chain burn like back forever ago, you would you'd set some shit. Your opponent would like waste an MST because they're bad. And then, like, the blind MST into 4 things because they're an idiot. Yeah. I love those opponents. They're my favorite.
All right.
And then you'd flip, like, Jar of Greed, and they'd be upset, and they'd have already wasted an MST. But if they had, like, held MST and waited until they had 2, they literally can't lose.
Why? Well, because if you don't know what it is, then, of course, you're going to blind MST.
Well, why would you blind MST into 4 things?
Especially blind MSTing is really bad right now.
Oh, it is?
It was bad before. It's just really bad now.
It's worse now. No, it's way worse. There's a card called Waking the Dragon that says when it's killed by an opponent's card effect, you special summon anything from your extra deck.
Absolutely disgusting.
That's horrible.
So it could be some towers thing like some Raid Raptor Falcon thing. I don't remember the name.
Okay, so
all right, Cleave Towers is legal again.
So
about that.
I'm guessing the Vanguard equivalent of that would be like if you guard with this, superior call the fucking or superior ride Imperial Daughter from deck. All
right. Well, the point is you have this mush in your head, and you should use it.
Yeah,
and don't freely waste resources on things that are not that important or like random guessing. Like, oh, if my opponent doesn't have a grade 3 and doesn't draw one, then I get to beat his shit up, and then your opponent has one. You're like, oh no. It's like, please.
Do you think that they're gonna do better with Accel clans, like seeing this Tachikaze stuff?
Tachi seems sweet. Like,
yeah.
I just need to see the rest before I make an actual conclusion.
So I need to see the VR.
So far, it looks promising, and
it's great. Honestly, like it's one of the coolest like sets of cards we've seen. Like, I'm sorry, but the spikes are more vanilla than anything else I've seen, and it hurts a little bit.
The Mega Colony stuff, weirdly enough, seems like dynamic. Does that make sense? Like where, okay, you drop a card, all of a sudden I got like 6K in guard restrict. Fuck you. Like it's
Megas seem weird because they're like less about using the protect gift and just like pitching the protect gift to random shit to do shit.
I mean,
kind of weird.
If they're like the insect mafia, I can totally see that happening.
Like I just got to see the rest because all we have is just random rares.
I mean,
right?
I mean that's pretty cool if you have like
that grade 1 that countercharges is good.
Yeah,
because it gets you a soul too. It's not terrible. And it boosts something by 10k, right? So you just call that stuff behind Vanguard because you don't really need to boost Vanguard in this game.
Yeah, I do think it's cool that like now that we've seen kind of almost 2 different protect gift things and 2 different Accel gift things, they're making a concerted effort to differentiate them from each other than just like this is an Accel clan and they're all the same.
That's what I'm gonna hope they keep doing because I want something interesting for like all the Force clans because oh god, if we're gonna have like D Police and Shadows basically doing the same thing as like Royals and Kagero, I'm gonna blow my brains out.
Where's my guard break? Come on.
I would actually be okay with it, but I know people who wouldn't.
Guard break is admittedly salt and
someone who wouldn't. Yeah, it's great.
I mean, it's scary just because you basically leave it up to chance, and the one thing that you have control over on your opponent's turn could just not work.
I know, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's fun.
You get to just turn cards sideways, look at your opponent like, what do you want to do? And they're like, cry. And you're like, you were allowed to do that. But also, would you like to guard?
I'm playing Arca. I PG 3 times. Have fun.
Right?
I may or may not have done that.
That's rude as fuck, man.
Well, you know, Anaheim singles, the one I scrubbed out at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My first run was D Police, and I had 3 Arca, and I did PG 3 times.
And then
get them all back.
And
because
then?
fun.
That's rude.
And then I won because it's D Police, and what the fuck are they going to do with no cards?
Yeah.
Lose, presumably.
My general strategy against D Police is guard like you normally would, because like if you like double PG and they guard break one of them, then you have one less PG and they can just kill you with the next thing.
What you could do is you could just slam your hand on the table and kill them.
Yeah, that also works.
Or you just give them no counterblast whatsoever.
We've come full circle.
I mean, I'm just saying everything works is why D Police is terrible.
Well, early G era, they were pretty awesome though.
Right before G Guardians, yeah, they were pretty broken.
They had
I missed
the printing of Dismal.
Before that Sin Buster Tachikaze deck was so good.
The Sin Buster deck was super sweet.
Yeah, I think that deck was just busted.
Oh, it was. It was nuts.
And there were still people playing vanilla metal boards. Rip.
Yeah. So, Accel clans. Kind of off to a bad start, but I think with this reveal this morning, we might have...
Hopefully.
I think we might actually have a viable Accel clan if it keeps going this direction, and Bushy doesn't go full retard and print something that goes against the grain.
Oh, they will.
Tachi's direction. Like, guaranteed the VR is just going to do something very stupid.
It could go very stupid either way. That's the problem.
Well, I'm kind of hoping just the VR just like puts a gauge under every card on your board like that. I could take that honestly.
Right.
I mean, the one thing that sucks about that is that you can't really do that with premium, because like those are two very different strategies.
I thought premium's dead.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a real format according to everyone.
OTT's broken, so premium doesn't exist.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. You can't play it, dude. Like, don't even bring it up.
So basically, it's turned into the Friends theme song. Premium's DOA. Cool.
Sure.
Basically, apparently, according to the masses, premium won't survive despite people liking G-Era.
Right.
I mean,
although I do think the ARG made a mistake in making their tournament premium.
That was
when they could have just made it G format,
and people actually would have had fun.
Right.
Now
and
it's going to be like 50% Ichi Tom and 50% Victor. Wait, no, it's going to be like 50% Ichi Tom, 25% Victor, 25% Royal Paladin, some blaster mess that people think is tier 0 that involves Tarna, Big Saver. What else can I think of that's terrible? Yeah, Tarna Thing Saver is pretty cool if you're dumb.
Thing Saver is popular in Europe, right?
Oh, that place loves Thing Saver.
They love Thing Saver and they love Tachikaze. Like it keeps topping in like France and England for some reason.
Yeah, who knows why?
Oh, and then also the Tarna he's referring to is a grade 2 from like Vanguard and Deleter, which is like way long ago. And it's yeah, when it's placed on rear, if you have a Vanguard with Alfred and all of your Vanguards are stood, search your deck for up to one card with Alfred right at his stand, shuffle your deck, and that unit gets plus 5k.
Is people are shitting themselves over stacking force gifts when it's just like you could just kill them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like without playing bad cards in your deck, because like playing Alfred cards means you're playing bad cards.
I mean,
like realistically, like if you're really obsessed with playing Alfred, you play the King of Knights one that just calls it vanilla. So,
wait, the King of Knights one that calls vanilla.
Yeah, calls vanilla Blaster Blade from deck because the crit never is real. Like, just stop with what you're like. Stop with the crit bullshit, people. Oh my god.
But what if my opponent's at 4 damage and I'm on grade 2?
How are they at 4?
Who knows?
When is this game gone? Are they stuck on 0?
What do you think?
Like the new Mulligan rule? Like, what's going on?
Do you have, John? Do you have like a guess as to what Aquaforce might be?
Probably just gonna be like, hey, look at Giera Aquaforce, remove all the bullshit resist. Boom, put it on Accel circles, restand a little bit, maybe swap circles if you want to get a little spicy.
Oh, swap into the Accel circle.
That's what I'm doing.
I am so down. I will still not play it.
Same.
I would love to see that against me though, because I'm just gonna be like, yo, this is hype, dude. Keep basiling me, but please. Wait, basil seems sweet. Wait, does it only swap in the same column?
Some of them swap in the same column. Some of them swap with it's any circle.
All right, if it's any circle, play those in premium. That sounds sick.
I remember something like Wheel Assault was. Let's see. Basil is same column.
Right.
I remember my friend would put a transcore behind Vanguard, and then attack with some stuff, and then swap the transcore into the front row a lot.
Yeah.
So something in Break Ride era swaps.
I never thought of that. I was so bad at this game back then. Holy.
Okay, so Wheel Assault you might be thinking of at the end of the battle that it boosted if you have an Aquaforce Vanguard counterblast, pick 2 rear guards, swap them.
Yep.
Yeah.
That actually sounds kind of sweet. All right, I'm buying these up. Be right back.
Fucking
TCG player 0 in stock. Okay.
What are 77 items in my TCG player cart?
Unsure if he's actually buying them. We'll see.
Oh my god.
$932.73 in my cart.
Idiot.
But I played a lot of against a lot of Aquaforce that day, Canage, because I was playing Amon.
Yeah.
And Amon was great because all he did was punch people in the face. I played bad decks back then because they were fun.
I mean, like, bad decks are always fun. It's just when people start whining about your bad decks not being competitively viable is when I take issue.
Oh, I know they're not competitively viable, but I also didn't give a shit.
Like, people are just like, but I should play my avatar to try and win at regionals. Bitch, no, you're not going to win. Just, no.
But I want to win with Murakumo.
You have to be playing Glendios and 6 damage heal 3 times in a day, okay? I am the superior Vanguard player. I earned it.
Skillful.
Big brain.
I mean, he's technically earned it, but we're all just being complete assholes right now. It's great. Murakuma, what do you think they're going to do with that?
It's probably some clone. Actually, the cloning thing doesn't sound too bad with the Accel circles, but I hope they actually make it like costed decently and they actually do something beyond cloning.
Right? I agree. I want it to be good. Mostly because I just own Murakumo cards because they cost literally nothing. If you want to not play Vanguard, you can buy Murakumo cards and let them sit in the
Shadow
drawer.
Stitch card basically trash.
What?
Right, I agree.
Like Shadow Stitch is absurd, but they made it terrible
Somehow.
It's because it's I take a damage or your opponent gains like there's some marginal effect instead of I take a damage or my opponent gets a huge effect.
I think they were just worried.
That's just a better Shadow Stitch card. Like, and it's in Nubatama.
You're right.
It says if hits, you lose a card, or you guard it, and then you lose a card, but you guarded it. I could just do that. I could play Rene and win easy.
That's a balanced and complex card is Rene, right?
Dude, I love that metagame, but I hate that card.
What card?
What? It's so skill intensive and complex.
It's one of those big brain cards that people love.
Okay.
It truly brings out the potential in people. People who couldn't top before could play Nubatama and then start topping. It brings out the potential, the inner potential of Vanguard players. Really shows what true skill looks like.
So saying is the card's really lame. Got it.
Okay.
See, before Rene, you could be garbage and not top because you play like an ape. But now you can play Rene and actually top. It's a weird thought. It's amazing like what Vanguard does to people, man. It brings out the best.
Oh man, that card is really good though.
Oh yeah, it's stupid.
But it kind of does what it says on the card, and your opponent just takes it.
People whine about Deluge, and I'm just like, please stop. There's Rene. Like you whine about cards being ripped from your hand. Rene takes like 8, and there's nothing you can do about it besides sit there and cry. Oh.
What is the full effect of the card again?
It's Counterblast 1, flip over the same copy your opponent calls 2 from their hand to rearguard circle. They get 5k, and then they're dominated. But its GB3 is dominated units get plus 10k and a crit.
There you go. Because not everybody like remembers all cards or listens on a week-to-week basis. So we're just.
I assume everyone's lost to Rene some percentage of the time.
Yeah. Shiranui Ren is.
I never practiced the Shiranui matchup, and I played 5 in a row. That was a fun day.
You played 5 in a row? I played against 1. One.
Dude, don't go in Seat C ever again.
I was in Seat C.
All right, my bad. Go XO in a regional. Wait.
Oh, wait, you didn't. Haha.
What round did you guys take your loss, Atlas?
God. How many rounds were in the tournament total?
7.
It was round 5, I think.
Oh, that's not too early. Ooh.
What?
That's not even too early.
Yeah.
That's we played like a legit team out in round 5. Like they had the same matching shirts. I don't know if you saw them, Accel. They were the dudes with the red shirts.
Yep.
Yep, those guys. We played them in round 5 and beat them.
Did you just call me Accel?
I meant Atlas. I'm sorry. Less than an hour ago, fight me.
It happens.
I mean, whatever. How is the real Accel doing? Okay, or
oh yeah, he's fine.
Okay,
he's doing all right. Yeah,
he seemed tired last time I saw him.
He was exhausted. I don't even think he slept.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Good for him.
We were collectively tilted from the top 8. You have no idea. We were just done.
Understandable. So it seems like okay. Let's say you have like Blight Tops and Sonic Noah. On boost, you get the equip gauge or whatever, and then if you hit, you counterblast, retire Blight Tops, and then you get the Bestow gauge and a card. So that's just like a plus on its own. But if you manage to get another equip gauge under Blight Tops, that's
it's like a +2.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to kill the Reguard you boosted, so you could kill something that's in the Accel circle.
Yeah.
So you could just clear things randomly and open stuff up. It's really interesting, honestly.
Yeah, I actually in early Vanguard, a big problem that a lot of clans had was once you call something, if like it's just kind of there until it eventually dies or you call over it. But some clans don't actually have that problem, and I believe that this wasn't a big deal in G era because you could call over stuff pretty freely without like caring because you got so many calls.
Yeah.
But it's possible that we were worried about clans that have very mobile boards versus clans that just don't.
Plus, a big deal about this, this card, like the grade 2, is that it's very like Kagero resilient. Because the big deal is that when it's killed, you actually still get to keep the cards under it.
Yeah. That's what like old Tachikaze was though. That was like its big.
Well, old Tachikaze also wasn't real, so
yeah, that's true. But I mean, like, just you got to do their effects regardless of what killed it. Versus like, if this is retired during your turn, if this is retired by Engorge or that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think the new Taj stuff is cool. I don't know if I'm going to build it, but it's definitely cool. I didn't build anything with the first set because I just didn't care.
I'm just waiting. I just need more reveals to make any conclusions because like the Mega Colony stuff is still a giant question mark.
Yeah, I have no idea what that clan even does yet.
Spikes, I don't see it personally. I just,
Yeah, I don't foresee myself building spikes. I thought about building. I was really close to building OTT. Like I was insanely close. Just because the Amatros is really cute, and I would look like I had a huge brain. So that would have been cool.
Like, what is it? Like the meta's super lame though. Have people like one thing? All right, so like I think I listened to the episode where you guys dumped on Alfred for an hour.
Oh yeah, short-lived the king. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I wish you guys brought up was how terrible the crit was.
Oh, I thought we did, but maybe that was a different episode.
You skipped over it, I think.
Oh shit, my bad. I thought I had brought that up.
Like it's basically a vanilla, and it's super reliant on the amount left in your deck, and that's what makes Alfred really bad. Which you're not wrong. Like you're playing 4 basically vanillas to hopefully make this 1 grade 3 live for X amount of turns.
We talked about that Blaster Blade wasn't good at some point, and I think you're maybe right. I think that we might have not delved exactly on that enough. My apologies.
While we're on the get good train, overextending to get a crit on your Vanguard isn't good, people.
Especially not at grade 2. Holy shit.
Like grade 2 overextension can actually just lose you the game because you neg like 3 or 4 cards just for trying to get like 1 extra damage in. And then like, so the whole theory around that card, right, is that because you're Royal Paladin, you flood the board really easily, you get a crit, you put more pressure down, and apparently that's how you win the game, when it's really not. I don't see how that's ever a thing where you just win the game off of the grade 2 Blaster Blade crit. Because then like, if you check another crit, then that's 3 checks that you could check any trigger. Any trigger basically ends your turn. Your other 2 rearguard columns do nothing.
Yeah.
And like you didn't get any cards out of their hand, which is arguably the most important resource in Vanguard right now. Less than Counterblast. Because like, sure, you need Counterblast to play, but like you also need cards to do anything.
Right.
I mean, cards are the most important resource in card games in general.
Well, it's
less in some card games. It's just like as a whole, like Vanguard is super. Like, more than, like, Yu-Gi-Oh!, for example. Like, I don't know how, like, it's not super viable to go into top deck mode in Vanguard, like, ever.
Yeah. Well, because...
Like, every card in Vanguard is kind of like a split card. Like, it's a split defense-offense card, basically.
Yeah.
And grade 2s are the ones that have kind of like a middle ground.
Grade 2s are probably the most important grade outside of, obviously, 3s, because they kill people.
Right. So your grade 3s just often have absurd effects and you have to play them, but they don't have like they're not a split card, right? They're like in G era they were kind of a split card. They were like offense or different offense. But I guess in G era there's just always stride. I don't think you'd re-ride unless you had to. But like now they're kind of like rear guard, vanguard kind of things. But like grade 1s are like a huge split card between defense and offense, right? Like their defense is fairly large, 10k, which is pretty decent.
Or in some cases 15k.
Or some 0.
Yeah. Well, those ones don't have a split card, right? And that's kind of the problem with those, I think.
Yeah.
But like most grade 1s are just going to have a 10k shield value, which is pretty decent for a normal unit. and then just also have a skill that you want. So kind of have to think about like, do I want to call, like, is it, how important is it that I call this right now?
Hey, Root Beer's wish came true, kind of.
Yeah.
What was his wish?
And then,
so his wish was, so back when the Bermuda card got revealed, where if like it's a grade 2 that can count as the
Sandy?
cost, that can count as a cost for a G Guardian. He's like, this would be perfect if it had an effect on board, so you had to decide between, do I want to use this as a card to attack with, or do I want to use it as the cost for a G Guardian?
Yeah, it would make a pretty interesting duality. Like, want to know? All right. Shandi's already absurd, but if you really wanted to make it a catch-22 situation, you print that G Guardian effect on Shandi. You know, arguably the best grade 2 Bermuda has ever seen.
Yeah.
Well, this is +2 when you counterblast if you have 6 Harmony units.
Yeah.
The only reason why I won any of my games, if they put that heal effect, the counts as a G Guardian on that card, then it becomes a, hey, do I want to try and plus and play the grade 2 game really hard, or do I want to play defensive later?
Yeah.
It actually would be kind of interesting.
Yeah. So, but now with these grade 1s where you have like bigger shield, but for effects you might want on board, that's like, it's come true, kind of.
yeah, I kind of wish they would have done that earlier. Like I was saying in one of the episodes before we knew V Era was really about, is how I wish that normal units would have like better shield values. Because in G Era, the shield values under normal units was always 5k and was always not anything. Like 5k was nothing.
It wasn't even worth, like, it sometimes was there. Like, most of the time it was just discard farther to PGs or something.
And you would be like, your opponent would be like, all right, attack you for 56k. And I'm like, am I dropping, you know, what, fucking 10 cards to guard this? No. I'm going to drop 2, probably. Or a heal trigger and something, you know. But, like, most cards just weren't even worth guarding with. And so I was like, man, they really need to up the shield values on grade 1s and 2s. And that's something they did do. So that was something they were thinking about, is, you know, kind of making you just, you know, decide whether you want to call something versus not call something. But what makes grade 2 so important is that, you know, they can play both sides. You get to call them, do all their stuff, and then still actually guard with them when you need to.
I think that happened with the Bermuda cards in general, just because there was the ability to bounce them to your hand, so it actually forced you to make that decision, as opposed to something like where...
I guess the bouncing thing does make that worse, but most people just attack it immediately. Like, I don't know if, like, in any situation, an opponent would actually let a Sandy sit on board to let you bounce it.
I mean, do people put the Sandy on board in the first place?
I don't know. I don't think that card's good. So I never played it.
I saw it fairly often, but...
Yeah. I just felt like it was a noob trap, because, like, instead of just playing super defensively, you could just kill them. It's a weird thought.
That is pretty weird. I'm not sure why you'd think that way.
It's a very common school of thought here at Nexus at Night. Why does it matter if all this defense is going to happen if you can just kill them?
It's the same thing with, like, Luard Syndrome. Like, you have the best PG in the game, but it doesn't mean anything. Because you're just cycling PGs and you'll never win.
Yeah.
Because your deck, you're just weaker, despite how absurd Belial and Ezras and Co are.
All right. So, do we figure this out yet, or?
I'm going to decide whether I want to play Tachikaze when I see the VR.
Okay, that's not what.
Because I assume by that point we'll know most of the set.
Yeah.
At least if they follow the same pattern.
I think Mega Colony is quickly going to become the most interesting deck out of the set if they continue this direction and actually make Vanguards worth, like, doing shit with.
Yeah.
And not like meme garbage that we saw with, like, machinings. And I want to actually see control in this game, please.
And not Link Joker control, where it's like, I'm going to lock your stuff. Link Joker was pretty upsetting.
It was upsetting because everyone was bad when it first came out. Like, Jesus. The game is such a way that it's, like, super easy to counter Link Joker, yet people, like, refuse to learn it. Like, Chaos, when it was released, seemed like the most broken thing ever, like, realistically, right? Like, I'm sure Matt and I can both agree on that. When both of us, like...
right when they mentioned Lock, we were like, what? What is this? Aquaforce is dead.
Dead, but
that was for different reasons.
Yeah, Novell. But, entirely different reasons. But generally, like, that card on release seemed absolutely batshit crazy broken.
And it was good for like a month.
It wasn't even that good. It's just people played like morons back then. We were all bad. Bad. It was terrible. Like in hindsight, you're just like, why did I give my opponent 4 damage to kill me? Like, what?
Right? Well, my friend and I didn't. We just wouldn't call things for like the first million turns because we didn't want to give our opponent something to attack. So like we'd play like these long ass games because none of us wanted to call shit. It was awful.
Wasn't that also like a thing about Limit Break itself because you didn't want them to deprive you of Counterblast?
Well, you had to basically create the game in a way where you could either force them to put you at 4 damage or survive long enough where you gain enough cards where you could live through the break right turn. It was just
Revengers were so good. It's because it just plus like no other at the time, and you had Raging Form, which was a costless advantage engine past a certain point.
Yep. And so once you were at Limit Break, and ways to damage yourself were decently important. Because you didn't really care about the break ride that much in Raging Form. So you could just like sit on Raging Form and then be like, are you going to hit me to Limit Break? No? Okay. Well, what if I do it? But
okay.
Yeah, the deck building back then was super special.
Yeah. I definitely I played a lot of bad decks like Great Nature. So,
Hey,
well, the reverse deck
that's
was
completely true.
No, I played. Yeah, that's the deck I played. It was
actually good. I think that was actually one of the few good Great Nature decks ever.
What?
Outside of, like, Chat Tester Fox and whatever the hell that was. The Legion
triggers
thing.
were like really nutty in that deck. Ugh.
What the Leopold
the Leopold reverse? Yeah.
Leopold reverse is a sick card.
Yeah, it was. I thought it when I first read it. So in the show, the kid who plays it only uses it once. So I'm sitting there like, man, does this affect once per turn? It seems really bad. Yeah. And then then we see the card and it's not once per turn, and I'm like, excuse me. So it's just like casual 12k to your front. Yeah, you're like rest tank mouse.
I think it was the only viable reverse unit like ever played.
Yeah,
like realistically, I think there was the Jewel Knight one that was played a little bit, but it wasn't that popular.
Ashley,
yeah. Well, the problem is Jewel Knights were not good, so.
I think Jewel Knights are fine. It's just they didn't have a break red that was good.
Plus 10k to crit, no other effect. But yeah, I think I agree with you in that it feeling reverse unit. I remember playing like random Narukami decks during that era that were like one of each Eradicator, Eradicator grade 3, and then like 3 Gauntlet Busters.
Yeah,
because you could literally do anything in Eradicators and it would like work against bad people. But yeah, I played a lot of DI Great Nature during that time period.
Yeah. So
I played Tetracore. Was it?
Yeah, that's what my friend played, and so I played against that deck a lot.
I couldn't afford Glendios at the time. I was a sad boy.
I thought about buying Blouse, and then I didn't.
Fucking.
That deck was broken.
That deck was nuts.
Okay.
It would have been much better if that one broken deck didn't exist.
I mean, like, do you remember the team tournament era?
Yeah, I was there.
Do you remember the? Oh, were you there at Anime Expo?
Oh no, I wasn't there at Anime Expo.
Were you not at the Anime Expo team tournament?
No, I was at the one in Pomona or wherever.
Well, that one, the entire top 8 were the same, like 3 decks. It was Nova Grappler, the Blouse, and Revengers.
Oh yeah, I mean those are the only 3 decks in the format, so yeah, that makes sense.
Because they purposely made Invaders garbage.
Right? Like you would play Chaos and 2 like Chaos is like kind of bad already, and 2 like awful decks. Or you play like Great Nature, which is like fine, and then like you play like Amon or something. I don't know. Like
Amon, I don't know. There wasn't many playable Invader decks outside of Chaos.
Amon Reverse was pretty good though.
Yeah, Amon Reverse is all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fine. It was again, you just punch your opponent in the face and hope they eventually died. I like the Amon deck much more right before G Guardians when you could just play Amon in Dark Irregulars and your opponent just couldn't always guard it.
Want to know what's crazy? I think it was G set 11 or 12. You know when they made DI like really good.
Mm-hmm.
The Amon stuff wasn't terrible. I got clapped by that deck once. Absolutely pounded. Like
yeah,
that.
the limit break enabler is really obnoxious.
Oh, you gave him the good stuff.
Gia, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you shut the fuck up, idiot.
Oh,
Still recording over here now.
no, right.
Okay, so we either got to wrap this episode up or fucking play this game. So,
well, I think the game is long dead. By the way,
Yeah, it died.
all right. Well, we'll try next week if Matt goes and buys a fucking packet. That is
look. All right, I'm sorry.
All right. Well,
Just steal one from some YouTube video, man.
You're right.
let's just.
There's millions of deck box openings. Come on.
Do you really want to do that? Is that the
No.
No.
I'll just buy it back.
Okay, we'll
It's
do
more
that.
fun that way.
We'll do
Wait,
that
you
next.
actually have a locals that carries Vanguard? What?
Yeah.
Well, no, they have really ancient sets because nobody fucking buys it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
actually
it's even
hilarious.
more exciting, right?
Oh, well, I'm gonna get all that wrong.
Yeah. John, is there anywhere that people can find you on social
On
media?
Discord / Facebook shit posting, you'll know it's me because I'm the one that's starting shit.
Okay.
Yep,
So,
it's all great.
yeah. So it's either John or what's your user? Do you want your username to be public or
Level 1 on Reddit, on
Le-
Discord.
level 1? On
You catch
Reddit
me
and
get
Discord.
downvoted.
Yep. Sounds like a plan. All right. Well, you can
Give them the upvotes. Fight the flames.
fight the power. Do the right thing. All right. You can find us on Twitter at Nexus at Night or me at Atlas Novak and Matt at Williams 2Gs 2Zs and hopefully
Right.
what?
That's right.
Yeah, and hopefully Root Beer will be back soon. He transitional period or whatever.
I understand.
Until
Is he-
next time, I
did he
was
graduate?
Atlas. What?
Did he graduate?
What, from college? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we graduated together, he and I.
Okay.
Yeah. So until next time, I was Atlas.
I'm still Matt.
I'm John.
And have a good
Be
night,
good.
everybody.